Glen Powell, the charismatic Texan heartthrob who's redefined leading man status with blockbusters like Top Gun, Maverick and Twisters, pulled back the curtain on the pulse-pounding stunt work that electrified the set of his latest project, The Running Man. At New York Comic Con, amid the buzzing Javits Center halls filled with cosplayers and die-hard fans, Powell, 36, sat down for an exclusive chat that revealed the raw, unfiltered chaos behind the camera. Far from the choreographed glamour of Hollywood trailers, he described a production laced with non-stop, badass action sequences that tested limits and elicited genuine gasps, his own included. The Running Man, a gritty remake of the 1987 Arnold Schwarzenegger cult classic, transplants Stephen King's dystopian nightmare into a hypermodern thriller. Powell steps into the boots of Ben Richards, a desperate everyman thrust into a sadistic game show where contestants are hunted by elite killers for sport. The prize? Enough cash to save his ailing daughter, a stakes-raising plot device that amps the tension to fever pitch. Directed by the visionary Edgar Wright, known for whip-smart edits in Baby Driver and Shaun of the Dead, the film promises a blend of visceral chases, explosive set pieces and Wright's trademark wit. Powell's Richards isn't just a survivor, he's a powder keg of defiance, and the stunts Powell undertook brought that fury to visceral life. Authentic reactions became Powell's mantra for the film's high-wire moments, as he recounted with a mix of adrenaline-fueled glee and wry hindsight. One sequence stands out, plummeting down the sheer face of a towering skyscraper, harnessed but heart-stopping. "They let a cable loose a little before I thought it was going to be let loose," Powell laughed, his easy drawl belying the terror. "If you fall even just a couple feet down the side of a building when you're not expecting it, it's a little nerve-wracking." Audiences will witness his unscripted flinch, eyes wide in primal fear, a split second of vulnerability amid the CGI spectacle. It's these unpolished edges that Powell craves, injecting humanity into the superhuman feats. Explosions, too, proved unpredictable allies in authenticity. "There were a few explosions that hit me in the face," he admitted, rubbing his jaw as if reliving the blast. One particularly rogue fire extinguisher detonated prematurely, dousing him in foam and surprise. "That definitely took me by surprise," Powell said, his grin infectious. Such mishaps weren't liabilities but gold. Directors thrive on the electric jolt of real peril, the way a performer's pulse quickens and translates to screen magnetism. Powell, no stranger to physicality after dangling from fighter jets in Top Gun, embraces the unpredictability. "I always try to keep myself surprised because that's all the good stuff," he explained. "You never want to be too sure-footed on a set." It's a philosophy honed from rom-com charm to disaster epics, where Powell's boy-next-door appeal meets steel-willed grit. The stunt roster reads like a daredevil's bucket list. Leaping from an exploding bridge into churning waters below, the roar of flames licking at heels, brutal hand-to-hand combat that leaves bruises blooming like badges of honor. Powell singled out a third-act showdown with Lee Pace's menacing hunter, Evan McCone, as pinnacle badassery. Pace, the towering elegance of Guardians of the Galaxy, channels cold calculation, their clash a ballet of fists and fury. "There's a lot of action, it's non-stop," Powell enthused, detailing the choreography's precision, hours of rehearsal yielding balletic violence. Wright and co-writer Michael Bacall, veterans of Scott Pilgrim's frenetic fights, layered in kinetic flair, ensuring every punch lands with narrative weight. Beyond the adrenaline, The Running Man grapples with timely themes. Media sensationalism in a surveillance state, the commodification of suffering. Richard's plight, hunted for ratings, family in peril, mirrors King's prescient rage against spectacle over substance. Powell, drawing from his own blue-collar roots in Austin, infused the role with relatable fire. "Ben's not a hero by choice, he's cornered," he reflected, eyes alight. This everyman ethos echoes Powell's breakout in Scream Queens, evolving into the cocky confidence of anyone but you. Yet, in The Running Man, vulnerability peeks through the bravado, especially in quiet beats with his on-screen daughter, a nod to the protective ferocity of fatherhood. The ensemble bolsters the mayhem. Josh Brolin as a shadowy overlord, his Dune gravitas twisted into corporate menace. Colman Domingo's layered intensity, Katy O'Brian's fierce edge from Love Lies Bleeding, William H. Macy's sly veteran turn, Emilia Jones' emotional anchor, Daniel Ezra's rising spark, and Michael Cera, channeling Scott Pilgrim nostalgia into wry subversion. Their chemistry, forged in Wright's collaborative cauldron, promises sparks. Powell praised the camaraderie, late-night script tweaks over craft beer, bonding over shared stunt scars. "It's a family affair when you're dodging fake bullets," he quipped. Reflecting on the original, Powell honors Schwarzenegger's monolithic presence while carving his niche. Arnie's Richards was a quip-firing tank. Powell's is agile, haunted. A millennial update for fractured times. Production anecdotes abound. Wright's storyboards, meticulous as blueprints, clashed gloriously with on-set improv. One bridge explosion ballooned from planned flicker to inferno, crew scrambling as Powell vaulted clear. "Heart in my throat, but that's the rush," he said. Safety nets, literal and figurative, prevailed, with coordinators like the Daniels team ensuring calculated risks. Comic-Con's panel buzzed with fan fervor, cosplayers in hunter gear peppering questions. Powell teased trailers dropping soon, hinting at King's influence. It's got that 70s paranoia vibe, but turbocharged. Post-film, Powell eyes diverse horizons. Perhaps a musical, whispers of a rom-dram with Sydney Sweeney redux. Yet, the Running Man's scars linger fondly, a testament to cinema's tactile thrill. In an age of green-screen ease, Powell champions the tangible. Wind-whipped falls, acrid smoke, the bone-jarring thud of impact. "That's where truth lives," he asserted. As release looms, audiences brace for a ride that's as exhilarating off-screen as on. Powell's authentic terror, the hook that reels them in.